We're in Zion National Park. Today I'm hiking the Wildcat Trail to the West Rim. As you can see, there ain't anybody here. I had Zion shuttles drop me off. The hike today is about 21 miles. This is the sign for the trailhead. Should be an absolute beautiful day to be out here. It's going to be warm though down at the bottom of the canyon in the 90s, but the reason why I'm hiking this today is the West Rim will probably be in the upper 70s to low 80s. So when you're on the Wildcat, you get some introductory views of the Kalab area, such as so. But the reason why this trail is so pretty is because very few people hike it. It gives you a great connection to the West Rim. And to get to the West Rim, you have to get to Lava Point. And from Lava Point, you have to get on a dirt road for a couple of miles. So if you don't want to do that and save some money, you can always just hire Zion Adventures like I did, and for 25 bucks, they'll take you to the to Wildcat Canyon. This gives you a good perspective how large this meadow is off of the Wildcat Canyon Trail. That's the way I came. As you can see, I was hiking into the sun. It was very early in the morning here. Only one around. Past the meadows, you come into a clearing. It gives you a perspective where you're hiking. You're going to be hiking on this ridge line all the way across, straight down. But to do that first, you have to hike down and cut up around through that ridge line. All right. Made it to the West Rim. You can see I've got 13.5 to go. There's the Zion Canyon. They give you information here about the West Rim Trailhead. I still haven't seen anybody yet today. It's starting to warm up pretty good, actually. It's a little warmer than I expected, but it is July. But now you're starting to get some of those long-distance panoramic views, a lot of flowers. Only gets better from here. All kinds of wildlife on the trail. What do you think, little bugger? Like I said, the views just keep getting better. And better. About mile marker 10, maybe a little bit past it. So, that ridge line out there, Wildcat came down there, cut back around. The West Rim heads up that way, just the way I'm going. And the views only get better than this. On the West Rim, you actually go through another meadow. This one is quite green and just very pretty due to the fact that they've had monsoon weather here for the last 2 weeks. Lots of rain. Today it's a slight chance of thunderstorms. And I still haven't seen one hiker. And I've been hiking for a little over 3.5 hours now. But this little hike I'm doing with you now, about a minute or so, gives you just a taste of the meadow. Go through some brush, then it opens up, and it's just beautiful. Great views, great scene. Lots more to walk through. Leaving the meadows, going through some beautiful aspen. The wind's picked up a little bit. You see some fern. Because of the monsoon, lots of flowers. Time to go uphill. Alright, once you come up that hill and come down the trail, you get to the best view so far. First, the reason why the view is so great is because you see not only one side of Zion, which is the eastern side. You see the Kolob area, which is just, the views only get better from here. Remember, we started out there on the other side of the ridgeline there. That's Northgate Peak. And you're heading up there, so the views of the Kolob area only get better. But if you want a panoramic view, this is the only, one of the few places on the trail that you really get it. Alright, we're finally past Potato Hollow and you're past Major Ridge. Right there, that little entrance down there, that's the main part of Zion, where all the tourists go. We're still on the ridge line, and for the next 2 miles you get views like this. Just incredible. You could see where I started earlier today, which is right there, where the Wildcat Canyon Trail is. And kind of went that way and back up to where I am. I hiked all the way out to that point there. Where the clouds are in the back, that's Dixie National Forest. Should be some thunderstorms later on today. We're still in monsoon, but they're calling for less chance of rain today, as I've mentioned a couple of times. So the next couple of miles, I mean, the views are just spectacular. I can't give you all of them, but just keep in mind, this is what you're seeing. Actually, I should say, this is what you're missing. With the views on the trail right now. Incredible 360 panoramic. Starting to come down off the ridgeline. In a moment, you're going to see some beautiful views of the main canyon that we will finally hike into and end this adventure. Alright, we're finally leaving the Kolob area of the West Rim and heading into the main canyon. There's a little slot right there that heads through. That's where we're eventually going. But for now, you get a really great view of the interior major part of the canyon where all the tourists go. This canyon's not a part of it. But as further we hike down, you get better views of that. But as I said, this trail, the views only get better and better. Okay, we eventually will head down below this cavern right down there. I did want to point this out because you finally get to see the bottom for the first time, the road that Zion travels through, and more importantly, right there is part of Deer Trap Mountain, and that's one of the viewpoints in my other videos that I gave you of the eastern part of the canyon, or the national park. And that viewpoint right there I gave you was a wonderful viewpoint for Angel's Landing, to let you see that it's a lot smaller than all these other massive tall peaks that we have. But further we go in, I'll be able to show you Observation Point and all the work that the CCC did in the 30s. Alright, once you start coming down off of the west rim, it transfers from dirt to rock. And as you can see, the trail is cut in the mountain. This was done by the CCC, which was done by created by the Roosevelt administration to employ skilled workers, engineers, during the Great Depression. The trail goes down here, so it goes right through the mountain, and then heads down through to about right there. And then that little slot down there, it's another 800,000 foot drop to the canyon, or where the bottom part of where the tourists are in Zion. So you're starting to see eventually where it's leading, but first you gotta hike through this, and man, it's a beautiful day. Alright, so that's where I came from, the west rim. You can see the trail being cut out right there. That's where the trail is, where I came down, and then it follows around the bend and straight through there. Still on the CCC. Gotta head uphill. Next thing is the viewpoint of Angel's Landing. Okay, so we have finally reached the main area of Zion. A couple of things to point out. That is Angel's Landing. That is where we are going eventually. But a few other things that I want to point out as we head this way. See the footpath signs. Who knows, you might go that way, but this way is much better. That's the grotto. You can see the trail, and you can see the zigzags cut into the mountain. That's for Observation Point, which is right there. Straight in front of you above that puffy cloud, that is Cable Mountain, and that is Deer Trap. I've hiked all those. And of course, that's Angel's Landing. That's the way we're going, although I have no intentions of hiking Angel's Landing today. But you have to go that way for the trail to come to a conclusion. Alright, that's a better viewpoint of Angel's Landing. This is the first viewpoint you have in the canyon to actually see the bottom from the entire West Rim Trail. This tells you that you're finally getting close, but you still got at least 1.5 miles to go to hike before you finish the entire trail. You know what this is. Walter's Wiggles. Unfortunately, I only get to go down. I don't get to go up. What a tragedy, I know. So go down these, and towards the end of the trail, almost finished. Alright, down there's the finish. Just gotta go through a couple more of these turns. I'm standing in the shade right now. One thing is important to know. There's no one on the trail today, and there's a reason for that. The trail was closed. Except for thru hikers, which was me. I saw 2 people all day. 2 campers. Everything else, you've ever hiked Angel's Landing, you know there are hundreds of people doing it. No one today. I hope you enjoyed it.